Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Parrott, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
I love Batman.
Poor Ray. Wait a minute. Ray's not gonna hear this. And also, you're gonna have to stop using Luca's dropper. He's gonna want his shekel eventually.
I had shekels to get. Anyway, welcome back to We Are the Night.
The Batman podcast.
That's right, kid.
That has Brian Cronin shaking in his underpants.
Anyway, I am Phil. Joining me, as always, is the master of fear herself.
It is old lady Beloved. What's up, y'all?
So today, we're going to discuss maybe one of the trickiest Scarecrow last film from Batman Legends of the Dark Knight 157 to 140.
Woo! It's a doozy.
So, kids, you don't already have one as well. Either your adult beverage or your fine altering substance of choice.
It is Saturday night, so naturally I'm drinking. If you know, you know.
Saturday, 8 p.m. So some 3 hours with it.
Only 4. Skip the Walmart runs today, so only 4.
Walmart in Florida, good call. Alright, so yeah, since we have 5, should we get to these? We actually do have synopses for these.
Ooh, fancy! Let's do it.
Alright, so the first one, Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, number 137 from January 2001.
Uh-oh, we've got a critique on the line.
What? Oh lord. Who is that? Is that you messaging him? I don't think that's me.
I don't think that's me.
There's some little help by background noise. Who can I? What? I just muted Lil. See? Do you hear it? No. No. There, I muted Lil Hellfire. There you go. No static, huh? Is that from Master Genie? Or who is that? Who are you? Oh no, that's
Show yourself! Who is it?
It's been a while. The power of chat.
Hey!
Hey buddy, haven't seen you in a while. Maybe
busy working the night shift, you know what I'm saying?
It's fall off the pool, Chad. Anyway, so yes, oh lord, 137, January 2001. Pair, Part 1.
2001?
Yep.
That's like 20 years ago. No way. I reject this.
January 2001, over 20 years ago.
I reject this.
Pair, Part 1, The Bloodbath by Doug Mensch. Writer of such things as Batman and a certain white crusader.
The other Batman at Marvel. Ray's not gonna hear this. It's fine.
What the F?
Yeah, don't say that. He loves that.
I love Batman.
Yes, like mentioned, penciler Paul Gulacy, inker Jimmy Palmiotti, colorist James Sinclair and digital chameleon, letterer Kirk Hathaway, and editor Andrew Helfer and Harvey Richards. Oh, that's a good chat. And there's so much more here than Scarecrow kids. We're going to go Hugo Strange, Catwoman, Year 1 Batman fun. Alright, so, get ready, here we go. A man in a Batman costume enters a creepy-looking house which sits secluded on a small hill. Isn't that every Batman story?
Basically.
He moves into the bedroom upstairs where he kills an old man using a dagger with a bat-shaped hilt. The murderer. Damn it. The murderer is Hugo Strange, and his revenge on Batman has begun. Talk about that. Obsessed. At night, Batman is busting some drug dealers, and he takes them down using his bat boat. Though he is successful, he warns himself not to go overboard. Get it, bat boat? With all his new gadgets. When he sees the bat signal, Batman meets with Captain Gordon, because remember, this is year one, who shows him the murdered old man. The dagger and a bat painted on the wall with blood is making it a little too obvious that someone is trying to frame Batman. Both men argue that Hugo Strange may not be dead after all. It's Gotham, man. Probably just dunked him in some chemicals. Indeed, Gordon later finds out that the victim named Sebastian Cole underwent 3 years of psychiatric therapy with Hugo Strange as his doctor. While Batman also goes after Catwoman, who draws more and more attention because of her increasing number of burglaries, a disguised Hugo Strange begins his new job as psychiatrist at Arkham Asylum. His first patient is Scarecrow, and using hypnosis, Strange tries to eliminate the fear Jonathan Crane has regarding Batman. Let's eliminate fear. Yeah, that sounds like a good. That's not going to blow up in your face, Hugo. Dunk any corpse in a honey bucket in Gotham, and you get a new arc. Yeah, true, Chad. I don't know why.
OSHA.
I don't know why we need Lazarus. Let's just take the pocket place from Gotham.
I mean, Gotham did that, so.
Oh man, who's gonna make fun of me now? Come on, Phil, say Gotham.
Don't worry, I'll do it.
Oh yeah,
I'll do it for posterity. Don't worry about it.
Wilf is like, I'll take the bullet. Okay, it's a tough job, but I'll do it. Yeah, I'm looking for notes. Yeah, no notes here. Yeah, that was the synopsis for the first one. So what did you think of?
Okay. It was okay. It kind of ramps up. This is the slow burn.
Yeah. Burn. Well, again, we got to do 5 parts. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think of this art?
I wasn't gonna say anything, but is it supposed to be spooky on purpose?
I mean, what do you think is bigger, Catwoman's dress or her eyes?
I think it was a tie.
That's a big eye.
Yeah. It's like who drew this? Steven Splat?
Oh my. Oh yeah.
Don't cancel me.
Those boobs scare me.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, the art was hit and miss. Some places it was all right, but yeah, like you see some of that Catwoman, it's like, I don't know.
At least we have Catwoman. That's all that matters.
That's true.
Ooh, I don't know. Did you see the teasers for the Batman with the rough cut? The Batman movie?
No.
Yeah, so Warner Brothers put out a rough cut, and a couple of people have seen it, and somebody broke their NDA, but not really, because they just told a friend of a friend who told the internet, so I don't know how I feel about that. But it's got people thinking it's going to be, like, multiple, and I'm like, they'll be lucky to get 2. Robert Pattinson is going to get tired of WB's stuff.
Share your talents, WB.
So, I don't know. Hopefully we can get it stabilized. I think that it's going to be pretty good from what I've heard and the script and stuff. It's just a matter of execution. So
I'm hoping it's good. I mean, if they don't interfere with it too much.
It looks a little cheesy.
Well, I mean, again, it's...
Like Catwoman and Batman look a little cheesy, but the Batmobile is boss. So that's all that matters. That's how you can tell if it's going to be a good Batman movie. If the Batman car, if they get it, it's a good movie.
Talk about your own people, Chad. Nerds don't have friends to tell. That's not true. Me and Wolf have each other.
Are you questioning our nerdhood? How dare you, sir?
I'm gonna have Ray ship me up some audio. He's dad jobs here going on.
Definitely. But oh, sorry for that tangent. I just want it to be good, and like 2021's almost over. It's almost time.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So
Carry on, Gelman. I'm sorry.
that's okay. No, I was just thumbing through this real quick on DC Universe Infinite. Yeah, like I said, so the art is good in some of this, but then you get the Catwoman. It's just like
Proportions, bro. It's called proportions.
between the eyes, the Duncan trunk. It's like, yeah, study proportions, kids. All right. So you ready to do number 2?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, on to number 2. All right, Batman Legends of the Dark Knight number 138 from February 2001. Terror Part 2, Strange Scarecrow.
I guess they couldn't use strange fruit. I appreciate the restraint.
During his psychiatric sessions with a disguised Hugo Strange, Jonathan Crane talks about his youth. Oh, we're back to the youth, kids.
I paralyzed a guy once.
Every story. Oh, again, these are every one of them for something meant.
Yes, we did say 138, sir.
Why? What's 138?
It's not the answer to the universe, that's for sure.
Yeah, Jonathan Crane talks about his youth, how he got mobbed at school, and how he became Scarecrow. Strange continues to indoctrinate Crane by telling him how much he hates.
He's trying to pull a Joker. He's like, fall in love with me and set me free. Oh no! Oh no, sweetie, that's not how this works. You're not nearly as charismatic as Joker. I'm sorry, babe. Sorry to tell you.
Hold on, let me try this. But Strange tries to indoctrinate Crane by telling him how much he hates Batman and that Scarecrow is the real master of fear. After every session,
burn!
You're more scary than he is. Burn! After every session, Strange gives Crane a handful of straw. In Gotham City, Batman catches Catwoman during one of her burglaries. But the second Batman lowers his guard, Catwoman scratches him across the face and is able to escape. Just making him more interested. After that disappointment, Batman meets Captain Gordon on the roof of GCPD headquarters. Gordon is painting a bat onto the light signal to make it more permanent. They talk about, this is where their relationship starts. They talk about Strange's motives, and Gordon believes that there is more behind the murder of Sebastian Cole than just an attempt to frame Batman. Meanwhile, Hugo Strange was able to get Scarecrow out of Arkham Asylum and has brought him to his hideout, the house of his victim, Sebastian Cole. There, Strange plans to continue his treatment, quote unquote, of Scarecrow. When Batman returns to Wayne Manor, he finds Alfred tied to a chair and a mannequin of Hugo Strange is seated at the other side of the table. Hugo Strange's voice comes from a tape recorder inside the mannequin, and he taunts Bruce Wayne. Batman orders Alfred to increase security measures for the mansion. Batman does not know yet that Hugo Strange has problems of his own because Scarecrow turns on his doctor and attacks him with his fear toxin.
Murder!
Yes.
What a way to go.
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention that in the first issue. Hugo Strange and that mannequin, that female mannequin.
We didn't have enough time.
I mean, it kind of looks like Catwoman, but is that a Batman mask that she's wearing?
At this point, isn't everyone in love with Batman?
Oh, but I mean, we tease about the Joker and Gordon, but I mean, I think Hugo's literally like trying to F Batman. Is that like a Freudian thing?
Yeah.
I hate you, I can't have you.
That's not a fanfic even I would write. Just saying.
Yeah, Misfits have a song about the old George Lucas film, PHX 1138. The fans just kind of swarm the number.
Oh.
Let's see.
You learn something new every day?
Smoked and doobie.
So thoughts on this one? I'm looking at it.
Misfits aren't smoking doobies.
Yeah.
They're drinking and lighting Molotov cocktails.
So, Wolf, any thoughts on 138?
Interesting development. Just like, this dynamic's not gonna work yet. No. This isn't, I don't know, like, it just feels weird.
Batman said it during Nightfall, and it's always true. He's like, they're all too egocentric to collaborate.
Exactly. So it's just like, the more you try to convince me, the more I know it's not gonna happen.
Basically, they're all too crazy to work play nicely.
That's good for Batman.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, poor Flash, his rogues are united.
Oh. Well, you might, when you're the Flash's rogues, you're like, hey, yeah,
he's just gonna talk us to death. He's not gonna put us in the hospital.
Our enemy is a guy who moves at light speed. Yeah, we might need to work together.
I mean, Captain Cold is his arch nemesis, and you know what I mean, for a reason.
Well, justice for Wally West.
Yes, sir, always.
Which we may be getting to. Maybe here. Alright, you ready for the third one?
Yes.
I don't know. Does it seem to you like... I mean, we'll get more into this at the end, but was there just like too many like villains going on here? Like Hugo Strange, Scarecrow, we gotta throw Catwoman in too.
Yeah, it feels like we kind of were robbed. Like, I like when they don't have to repeat the origin all the time. Like, Scarecrow doesn't even need an origin, to be honest. He just likes to scare people, and he's a skinny dude who got picked on. That's all we need to know.
I mean,
all we need to know.
And again, this is 2001. This is after the last two things we read by then. So it's like, yeah, it's like, okay, all you have to do is throw out one line. Yeah, I was bullied in high school. Yeah,
and that's why we need yellow boxes and editor notes, so we can... It's like, dude, not everything needs an origin story all the time. Even Batman's parents don't need an origin story. My best friend's baby who's still in the room knows Batman's parents were shot in that alley, okay? Enough!
And I mean, is that always the temptation to do year one story? It's like, oh yeah, man, we could really talk about that origin. How, like...
We know it already! Jeez!
Exactly.
That's why the Batman is year 2.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, if you're reading the Legends of the Dark Knight book, I mean, I don't think you're
deep in the lore, bro. You don't need this reminder.
I don't think a casual fan is reading Legends of the Dark Knight. Yeah, you know Batman's origin. You probably know Scarecrow's origin.
You definitely know Catwoman's origin. Well, this particular time, it's a little rough, but...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You still know it.
2001, yeah. I think it's after she tried to become mayor of New York.
The early 2000s were a rough time for women characters in the comic book industry.
Oh my god, that last 30, 40 issues of Catwoman, that first ongoing Catwoman.
We don't do that here, Phil.
The mental issues increased as the bus size increased.
Kind of reminds me of Power Girl, but I digress. We'll save that for long boxes and boob windows.
Alright, so Batman Legends of the Dark Knight 139 from March 2001.
So close. Not really, but I just like saying it because it ends in a 9. You don't think I jinxed it when I said 63 more years, do you? You'll get that joke when you watch this week's games.
I think a lot of things jinxed it, not you. But, oh yeah, I never told you the petty story. Remember to tell you that. Terror Part 3, Greatest Fear. Again,
this actually is when things get good, by the way, guys. So if you're keeping score, 0-1 at this point.
What's the other thing too? Maybe we didn't need to do 5 issues. Maybe we could have did.
It definitely did not, sir. They could have done this in 3,
Yeah.
but he was being lazy. He's like, I don't want to think of another story. Just stretch it out. Hey-oh.
I wonder if in Legends of the Dark Knight, if they're like, okay, you have 5, so do whatever story you want in 5.
He thought he had an idea for 5. It turns out it should have been 3.
Like, I'll put, Hugo Strange, Scarecrow, Catwoman.
I mean, have you seen the eyes on Catwoman lately?
With big round eyes.
Like big eyes, and I cannot lie.
Oh my god, just wait till you see what Hugo Strange does to a mannequin.
Subtext. It's so rich with subtext.
Not so subtext. Alright, so for Part 3, Greatest Fear. Terrified by Scarecrow and his fear toxin, Hugo Strange...
At least it's not Venom.
Oh, true. Hugo Strange leaves his bed, he was in there with the mannequin, wasn't he? And runs through the house of Sebastian Cole. He was laying in the bed with the mannequin. I think we know what was going down.
Oh, do I smell a Marvel crossover with a certain mustache twirly man who also has a mannequin?
Wait, what?
You know, He Who Shall Not Be Named that we did episodes on for good old Matt Conan.
Oh, yes.
I smell a crossover. If we ever get those companies together, we gotta have a crossover with those two. My mannequin's better than your mannequin. My mannequin drops bombs.
And there's only one man who could write it, kids.
This is J.M. DeMatteis, and you are listening to Lunatics.
I mean, he created Turner, so I mean, come on.
Oh god. I'm tweeting that to him. Like, hey man, I got an idea for a crossover. If you ever get a chance to pitch it, please do.
Gonna have to feed me to it. But no, you said like a mustached man with a mannequin. I was like, man, I didn't know that.
Charlie's in the mannequin?
Weird with me now.
Nothing would surprise me about Charlie.
Weird with me now.
Oh, yeah.
I like gorillas, and I won't apologize for it.
I might have the most drops. Charlie has the most interesting drops.
It's hard. You've never lived until Maz has given you a pain.
Yeah, but
Still waiting.
it's probably at a mannequin. It'd be something weird. It could be like Spengoli or something.
It's an Elvira mannequin, and that's my final offer.
True. You're right. You got me. Yes, he does love Elvira. Talking about the big eyes. Alright, so... So yeah, Scarecrow's chasing Strange. Strange does not recognize the hole which Scarecrow's cut into the wooden floor, and thus he falls right onto a spike from a weather vane.
What in the medieval torture is going on here?
So, I guess the subtext is every issue, a couple times every issue is penetration.
You got it, sir. You got it.
Weather vane. Strange looks to be mortally wounded. It does not move anymore. Now Scarecrow...
Well, it is Gotham, so you never really know.
The house could be sitting on a toxic, an Indian burial ground that someone used as a toxic waste dump. Yeah.
Isn't that literally the plot of Gotham season 2 or 3?
Is that what being called in Grundy and Gotham?
Just saying.
It's a cliche, man. Now Scarecrow wants to make his move against Batman, whom he calls the big bully.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Too bad he didn't get to paralyze him. That was Bane.
Oh my god, I swear someone's been listening to this podcast. I saw a meme, was it yesterday? It was Batman, Spider-Man, and Daredevil, and it said the, gonna cripple you with medical debt club.
Dang, son.
I was about to say Spider-Man, but, Sin Eater's like, yeah.
Yeah.
The first step of Scarecrow's plan is to kidnap Catwoman, which he actually achieves. Scarecrow unmasked.
She let him kidnap her. I'm just gonna put that there.
Okay. Scarecrow unmasked and takes pictures of her face, and he is able to.
Her face. Those eyes. Those big eyes.
So he is able to blackmail this female thief. Again,
Just take your whip and choke him, Selena! Jeez!
no one can know my secret.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh my god, that basement would be full of dead bodies. Hugo Strange, Scarecrow. Then just burn it down, Selena. No one would know.
Exactly. And then get Poison Ivy to like grow some moss over it. You're good. You're good!
Hey-oh. Poison Ivy moss. There's a joke there somewhere, but I don't know.
Somewhere.
2 nights later, Captain Gordon goes onto the roof of GCPD headquarters because someone has activated the bat signal. He is surprised.
Like, how much money did the bat signal actually cost? Now, did Batman pay for it, or did the city?
Well, last issue they said, I guess they already had a spotlight on the roof, but Gordon just painted a bat symbol on it.
Because, like, in other depictions, it looks like it's a specially made thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. Did Gordon go out of pocket for that?
His boo. His boo.
And again, this thing isn't like locked up or anything. Oh, like a Catwoman. But I mean, this thing isn't locked up or has a special code you gotta punch in or something.
I mean, literally, we've always seen it. Just as literally a spotlight at the top. No, like.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just. I mean, literally, people live on rooftops in Gotham. Just fly down. Like, it's wild in Gotham, man.
He is surprised to find Catwoman responsible, but as intended by her, Batman arrives as well. She talks about reaching an agreement and bribing them, which of course is no option for either Gordon or Batman.
Now, Harvey Bullock, on the other hand.
What was she gonna blackmail her? Or
You don't want to know what she was gonna barter with. James Gordon is definitely not interested. He's not even interested in his wife, ma'am.
Oh.
Sarah or otherwise. There, I said it. Can't believe Gotham gypped me of the James and Sarah Chronicles. Still mad about that.
Hey, at least he didn't drive her insane, you know?
Yeah, that she got out. That's true.
Quickly, Catwoman tries to escape, and as planned, she is being followed by Batman. Interestingly, the hunt leads them into the alley where Thomas and Martha Wayne were shot. Take a drink. A man unknown to Batman hangs in the alley head first and then gets beheaded by Scarecrow using a scythe.
Damn! This isn't scary, this is just gory. There's a difference.
Don't panic. Don't lose your head.
Get out. Pack your dad jokes up and get out, Phil.
I'm waiting for Scarecrow to say that. Don't lose your head. Then Crane attacks Batman, and he's actually able to best him. Okay. But then Catwoman interferes in Batman's favor, so Scarecrow flees, screaming about how he will use the photos he took from Catwoman. Ew. That was like one picture. He apologizes.
Pictures?
He apologizes to Batman for luring him into a trap, but when he turns his back, she strikes him down. I'm on the ground. Alright, so that was 3.
See, now I told you things heat up in issue 3. This should have been issue 1. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, they didn't mention it, but he kind of gasped Batman because, of course, he's in the alley flipping hallucinating.
Yeah, exactly. He is so mentally fragile. I don't know how we let him pretend like he's Batgirl. Like, he is so mentally fragile. It's just like if you do something to Lois, Superman's gonna be evil. Like, y'all fragile. Meanwhile, Wonder Woman kills most of her rogues. I'm just saying.
Yeah, man.
I'm just saying.
But I mean, is that maybe why some people like that right in year 1 Batman? Because it's like you don't have to write him as Batgirl. It's like, oh yeah, it's only his first year. Of course, he's not gonna be perfect.
Unless you're the Nolan trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Which I love and I hate. It's a double-edged sword.
I mean, I like those first 2 movies. I think they're pretty good. But
We don't count the 3rd movie, honestly.
He spends most of the movie down in that pit. At least half of it.
Yeah.
And hey, 3rd movie.
Nolan doesn't know how to finish a trilogy. That's all.
And hey, The Dark Knight Rises. I was in it. Okay. All right. Who we talk?
He's like, I can talk about this.
You can't see me, but me and my wife were in that stadium. So.
Poor Danielle out there in winter coat.
Yeah, kids. It was supposed to be winter, but it was the middle of summer, so they made you wear winter coats. And oh my god, I can't tell you how many times I've listened to that kid sing the national anthem.
Poor Phil. He's traumatized.
It's been stuck in my head ever since. Yeah, then they would like run the clock down, then they would push everything back and still shoot it again and again.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I forgot that you were traumatized. I'm sorry.
Traumatized is okay. What's this, Chad? It's why Bruce is a hero, not a superhero.
Burn!
He doesn't show off any dead rogues.
Exactly.
Frank, he knows to bury the skeletons in his closet. he literally has a closet with skeletons in it. Oh my god, more Batman.
Who does he think he is? He-Man?
My god, more Batman news. Did you see, I guess, McFarlane's coming out with a Batman Year 2 statue?
Oh, really?
And I saw the headline and I was like, oh god, is he really giving him like a huge cape? And yes, he does give him like a huge effing cape. Yeah, it's Batman Year 2.
I want it, but I don't.
I mean,
it's gonna ruin the rest of my Batman statues, but I want it just for the sheer jokes. When I need to be cheered up, just look over at it.
I want it, yes, because it's like people. I swear there was a picture from the side. All you could see was like a head and just a cape. Couldn't even see feet. All you saw was like a head and cape.
Yikes! I'm gonna have to look for that once we're done with this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. Let's get on to the next issue because now we're really in the thick of it.
But yeah, McFarlane, send us that statue. We'll do an unboxing. Right.
If I do end up getting it, don't worry. I'll do an unboxing.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. Not on Capes After Dark, so don't get your hopes up, kids.
Yes, kids, don't get your hopes up. Alright, Batman, Legends of the Dark Knight, 140 from April 2001.
What was I doing? I was in high school.
Who were you doing? What?
I was in high school. I'm trying to think. What was I doing in April of 2001? Something.
In the year 2001. So Terror Part 4 sounds like a horror movie. Horror House.
Like I said, they're doing gore and not actually like scary stuff.
Yeah. Yes, kids. Horror House. Yeah. All right.
You
so.
whore!
Okay, Kona. You whore! That Boston accent.
And I'm visiting nursing homes with bad intentions.
Aunt May, is that you?
Yeah, whatever.
Alright.
Wrong feed, Philip. Wrong feed.
Yeah, whatever. Little Love Ben Riley. In the alley where his parents...
Sorcerer Supreme. Put some respect on his title, please.
Nice. In the alley where his parents got killed, Batman lies on his back after Catwoman nearly knocked him out.
It's foreplay. Don't worry, he's fine, guys.
Yeah.
They do this all the time. He's fine.
Oh yeah, that's the next line. Catwoman sits on top of Batman and tells him that she had no choice to help Scarecrow, but she is not Batman's enemy.
She's like, while you're down there, he's like, I'm a hero. I don't do that.
Oh.
I had to do it, bro.
If people hear this episode, tongues are going to be wagging.
Not Bruce's.
Hey-oh! Wait until October, kids. It's going to be the Wild West here. Before she swings away, Catwoman also briefly mentions that Hugo Strange is dead. I think that was him impaled on a weather vane.
Some weird. One of your wackadoo rogues is up there dead. I don't know which one.
Chad, Batman on his back. How original. Bane did
Oh damn! Oh damn, Chad!
Bane did his first.
Ain't gonna be his last.
You know who's green with envy.
Get out. Get out right now.
Batman immediately meets with Captain Gordon, who confirms that it was Hugo Strange who got Scarecrow out of Arkham Asylum. Batman wants Gordon to contact him when he knows the identity of the young man whom Scarecrow decapitated. Joey,
Joey Chilson?
Joey Cannon Fodder? What?
Joe Chile?
Alright, Will, take another sip. After visiting the grave of his parents...
Oh my god, man. This is actually a freaking sparkling wine, by the way, guys.
Mensch wants you to drink. After visiting the grave of his parents, Bruce Wayne orders Alfred to use more of his money to fund the Wayne Foundation, which is helping crime victims.
Oh, really? That's what we're doing now? That's the alibi? He's getting tax deductions? No, sir. No, sir.
Part 4, Rich Man's Guilt.
There you go. Somebody get Ann Nocenti to write Batman, please.
Oh.
We'll really get to the root of it and dissect the hell out of him, okay?
I'm telling you, when he leaves town after Fierce Day, man, I hope they do a thing where he has to, meet the other 99%.
Ali will always have done it better. Just so we're clear.
The Black Mirror.
Definitely. You seen the goatee. You see how thick it is. You know what the deal is.
Don't say it.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Meanwhile, Charlene Connors and Brad Simmons both find themselves trapped in the house Scarecrow's using as a hideout. Now we're throwing this in. Both have been classmates of Jonathan Crane and have haunted him during his...
Wait. The penultimate? Take a drink, future little issue. This is where we get the classmates? Okay.
And again, it wasn't that was a Bo Griggs with the Bane one, so it's like this takes place between the annual and the 2 Batman issues we did last week. So it's like, oh yeah, he's saving the biggest bully for last. Well, besides Batman. Yeah, but both have been classmates of Jonathan Crane and haunted him during his years in high school. Now Scarecrow uses his fear toxin against them to finally get revenge. I just love how he's like, oh, hey, thanks, Hugo, for... Okay. Is Hugo just a massive plot device to give Scarecrow a haunted house?
Of course. I mean, it's Gotham. All the houses are haunted, obviously. You've seen the economic downturn in that place.
I appreciate what Mensch is trying to do, but couldn't Scarecrow have escaped on his own like he did last week? And just,
I appreciate trying to do like that Joker Harley seduction thing. I do. He didn't put enough thought into it, and it fell a little flat. But I appreciate the effort.
But isn't that like Chad was saying, Batman on his back and Catwoman on top of him? I want to Batman return.
We don't.
I was waiting for them to start talking about missile stuff.
Oh my god. Catnip. Look, catnip.
Oh, Lord.
Better than Batnip. Sorry, Joel Schumacher. I'm still mad. I don't care about the apology.
I don't watch those 2 movies. I don't think I've watched those in like.
Oh, we're gonna have to do that for the Patreon one of these days.
Oh yeah, and just poop all over it. Oh yeah. Oh my god, can you imagine how excited they would be if like us tripping on something Batman?
He's like, here, shut up and take my money. Somebody tell Ray about our idea, because he's not gonna hear this.
He's not gonna hear this. If he did, he'd be all excited.
He's not gonna hear this.
No, maybe we can add those to our brackets for next year.
Of course, you know what? I thought about it. I think our parameter should be from like 1975 to present.
Okay.
I was looking at the list, and I think 1975 helps a good wide range.
I mean, if we start we have some time to start this next year, but like, if we do this as brackets, maybe we should do 2 movies every episode.
Yeah, like versus. Yeah.
And pick a winner.
Here's why this movie's redeemable. Here's why this one isn't. And 5 reasons why you should shut up and give us your money.
And you know who's gonna have thoughts on all of that.
We're doing me now.
Yes, I like our bracket idea. It's coming along.
Yes, but will he let us add Superman 3 to the list?
I'm that kind of freak.
If I let you put Superman 4, he has to let you put Superman 3.
Oh,
It's just how that works.
that might be a matchup: Superman 3 versus Superman 4. Oh,
We'll see how it goes.
hey, this might be the first 2 battles: Superman 3 versus Superman 4, and Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Those 2 go head to head.
We'll see.
Oh my god.
Get your jelly beans ready for betting, kids.
That's Superman 3 versus Superman 4. I might have to be the tiebreaker because I know you two are going to go complete opposite ways.
No, we'll have to rope Rob back in. He's way more objective.
No, he said he'll say he'll do stuff with us. He'll guess stuff.
But we need a tiebreaker. We don't trust Phil.
Why did your eye drift over to my?
He's too close to the situation.
Why did your eye drift over to my box?
I'm gonna start getting gifts from both of them. Be like, hey, buddy, what's the one about Superman 3?
I thought that the art evened itself out in this issue, by the way, though.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on with those previous issues, but this one finally evened out.
Was it rushed, or was he getting a feel for it, or?
I have no idea what's going on with this issue at all. It's very up and down.
Hey. Gordon tells Batman that Scarecrow's victim was connected to Crane's past, and 2 other persons fitting this criteria have been abducted last night.
Ruh-roh, Shaggy.
To prevent another murder, Batman needs the help of Catwoman. Reluctantly, Gordon uses the bat signal to contact her. Catwoman confesses that the Scarecrow blackmailed her after discovering her secret identity. He didn't discover; he just took her picture. He's like, "I don't know your face," but he's like, "If you don't do that now."
He's like Lex Luthor. I don't know who this is. That's still one of my favorite things for the Justice League. DCAU undefeated. I'm just saying.
I mean, this is like early version of revenge porn.
Yeah.
Batman offers a truce between them, and because Catwoman left a tracer, she's able to tell him where to find Scarecrow. I love how Gordon's like, yeah, no, I can't hear any of this. I'm out.
Plausible deniability!
It's like in Master of the Phantasm. Gordon's like, I'll have no part of this, and just like closes the door and leaves the movie. But Crane did find the tracer and is already waiting for Batman to arrive. As soon as Batman enters the house, Scarecrow seals all exits, and then he pierces Batman with a dart, which probably is poison.
Poison?
Yeah, we know what poison he uses.
Nice.
Crop dusting. Alright, so what did you think of 4? Well, finally picking up, huh?
Yeah, the goose is getting cooked. It's in the pot, baby.
Whoa.
No, I like this issue a lot. I think this is the best issue, actually, because I do feel like the end is a little anticlimactic for me, but that's just me, probably.
Yeah, I get it. It's a year 1 story. I wonder if they wanted to leave it open ended.
Of course.
And is it like, like a lot of prequels like Star Wars. It's like where we're headed, so it's like we're just trying to fill in a gap. It's like, really?
And this all be retconned anyway. Who cares? It's Legends of the Dark Knight.
I was gonna say
It's the fifth Batman book. Who cares?
That's why some of the better like Legends of the Dark Knights are when they don't use like regular rogues. They like create like original characters and stuff, because it's like no one's gonna be looking for these guys in present day, so you can do whatever you want with them, kill them.
Yeah. But like I said, this solid story pulled everything together and made me interested for the ending. Hoping it wasn't going where it was going, but it didn't. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It's not like I'm reading a Sherlock Holmes adventure or anything,
The Scarecrow found that cat tracer.
Let's talk about your Spider-Man reference.
Alright, so should we get to the last one?
Let's do it.
Alright, kids, it all ends in Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, number 141 from May 2001. And Lilith Hellfire just disconnected herself. Okay. All right. So, May 2001. The teams are all the same. Penciler, writer, penciler, inker. Yep. Everyone is the same through this whole run. Part 5 is Terror Part 5, Dead Man. Oh, what the heck? You got to be kidding me. So they had synopses for all for the first 4 parts, but no synopsis for this. What the heck? Sometimes we all need to disconnect. Indeed, Chad, indeed. Ugh. A little hellfire to disconnect from this story for a couple minutes. Oh, there she is. Hello.
Sometimes we all need to disconnect.
I know what I said. I'm like, you dropped off, and I was like, oh, Little Hellfire got disconnected. That's when Chad's like, sometimes we all need to disconnect. All right, I didn't do my homework because Little Hellfire, there were synopses for all the first 4 parts. There's no synopsis for this last one.
What? How do you do?
Who does that?
I'm assuming it's what is that, DC database wiki or whatever. They do that.
I mean, someone without OCD like some of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, get the flipping, buddy.
Flip. I am pulling it up on DC Universe. Infinite.
Stop
DC.
so infinite when there's missing them.
DC Universe not so infinite.
Exactly.
Hey, man, Marvel's the same problem, man. They have gaps in their thing, too.
I would sue, but this is not unlimited.
You know what? How much money do they pay people to scan comics in, man? I'll do that all day.
They probably only paid $10 an hour.
Oh, yeah.
No, what's New York's minimum wage? Like 15? So probably 15.
I was going to say, man, if it's like New York money, but I can work from here.
Yeah, exactly.
New York's minute, yeah. New York salary, yeah. All right, so part 5, like I said, team is the same.
I think you'll be able to get some sweet Disney benefits, maybe.
Oh yeah.
They have now. I ain't gonna lie. They have some of the best benefit packages in the business.
They better.
They've always had that though. For like as long as I can remember.
So. Yeah. What are you saying, Chad? Illicit sites don't have this problem.
I'll give you a synopsis.
I know, that's what I was going to say. No, I was just reading synopses off the internet. No,
Phil pays for his comics.
I've got the issue in on DC Universe Infinite, and you know what? I actually have these 5 issues. They collected this in a trade.
Because I have them singularly, so really they collected it in a trade.
You know what?
To be fair, it is Minch. Yeah.
I saw it once. I don't think I've ever seen it since I bought it, but yeah, there was.
It's on Amazon. I give it to you.
Yeah, so yeah, they actually did collect this. So kids, yeah, if you can't find the actual issues, which shouldn't be expensive, yeah, there was a trade of it somewhere.
Nice.
So Batman's tripping balls.
Honestly, like I feel like he should be immune to fear toxin. Like one day he's like, bro, you don't think I didn't come up with an immunity for this?
I know, it's like you're trying to gas me
and
enough.
The Joker venom too, obviously.
Oh yeah.
I've just been playing along with you this whole time because you know what? You're a clown.
Oh, I mean, I think there was even an issue in Nightwing where he's like, "Oh yeah, Bruce made us like sniff like all these toxins and stuff that like so you could like mimic if you had to fake like you're under attack, you know."
Those kids are so traumatized.
Oh yeah.
Bruce Wayne must be stopped.
Oh, wait till Kristen and I get to All Star Batman and Robin.
I cannot wait. I hope she roasts him on an open fire.
Oh my god, I think we're doing all 11 at once. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's almost as bad as the Wonder Woman issues I picked up for you.
But I'm just saying, a heaping helping of all of it in one shot. Oh my god. Yes, kids. Lilith demands that we do all of the actual comics from Wonder Woman in the actual year of 1984.
Justice for Wonder Woman during her 80th anniversary, which not enough people are talking about, even though officially it doesn't start till October. But Batman got the whole year, and so did Superman.
Oh yeah, you got to tell me what ones you want to do because we're doing an Aquaman episode too.
Yes, of course.
Are we gonna do the 80th anniversary issue?
We'll cover that as well. Yeah.
And okay, I know Aquaman's getting like a mini series with Green Arrow, but Aquaman doesn't have his own ongoing series, but Black Manta's getting a series.
Not to be that person, but I think I'm the only person on the podcast that can say this. What's the first word in the title?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Although y'all should really put some respect on Black Manta's name. Maybe not this particular iteration, but let's not forget that he killed Aquaman's son in front of him and made Mira break up with him.
Oh, I'm not going to say Black Manta hasn't had some good moments, but it just seems like the last couple of years, especially since that movie.
Aquaman 2 is coming out, so
yeah,
and that's
true.
the main focus.
It just seems like since that movie, it's just it's like, oh, look how cool Black Manta is. Well, why? Look at his armor.
Cool in that movie, though.
Look at his helmet. Isn't that cool? It's like, oh, Darth Vader did better. Oh.
Ooh. Although for DC budget, it was practical.
Oh, true.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah. But even in the comics, too, it just seems like anymore. Oh, Black Manta. You should love him because his costume is awesome.
I mean, what he did to Cal. He has his moments, but I mean, is it a miniseries or is it an ongoing? That's all I need to know.
I don't know. Did they?
It can't be an ongoing. He's not the Joker. Even the Joker's book, actually, spoilers, isn't about him. It's a backdoor pilot to a James Gordon saga.
Oh. Yeah, actually, it's like a Gordon book. Yeah. All right.
Oh, maybe it'll be a Caldor book secretly. I don't know.
I'm trying.
Did you find it yet, Philip?
Well, they have.
Pull it down from the club. Yes, Joker is a joke and the biggest
no.
I know.
I was looking at the Black Manta. Well, they have at least 3 solicited, so I don't know.
Might be 5 and done.
Could be.
I don't think people are gonna really buy into it. I'm sorry.
I mean, the solicit says the Scourge of the Seas now gets his own series, so I don't know.
Oh. Rude. I guess they're too big. They're busy retooling Aquaman to look like Jason Momoa. They're like, yeah, just give him some Black Manta for a little bit.
I mean, maybe. Yeah.
Look, not to be that person. I'd rather have an Ocean Master book. I'm just gonna be real with you. Ocean Master stole that freaking movie. Y'all can fight me if you want to, but you'll be wrong.
I mean, they didn't really.
Actually, Willem Dafoe stole the movie. If we're gonna be really, really honest, but between the villains, Ocean Master was better.
Again, I don't think we needed Ocean Master and Black Manta in that movie. I mean, they did Black Manta.
We had to set up the sequel, Philip.
I know, but
we had to. It's what we do.
They
we cram everything in. We're DC. We can't wait.
I mean, they just did that character a great disservice. Black Manta should have had a whole movie.
Although that actor is blowing up.
What
movie was he just in that everybody is raving about? Oh, Candyman. Yes, that's the movie.
Oh yeah,
he also had a really great episode on Black Mirror. So I think they're
and wasn't that him on
banking on that?
And wasn't that him on Watchmen too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he was great on Watchmen.
Yes, I mean the actor himself is a great actor, and he's blown up since that movie. But unless they get rid of Amber Heard, I hate to tell them. I am very interested to see what that May trial brings, and if they're gonna just get rid of her.
2022.
2022 is going to be so interesting for Marvel and DC. It's going to be It's basically the Wild Wild West all over again for movies. It's
Oh yeah.
interesting.
Chad says DC just needs to chill and do things right.
Hello. It needs to not be a part of Warner Brothers Entertainment or Warner Brothers Discover or whatever the hell they're calling it now. I don't even know. I couldn't tell you.
Oh boy.
We were this close to getting the fans to buy the comic book part of the company. This close.
Hey kids, remember kids, tell Ray half the DC line in November is going to be Batman or Batman centrics, and tell him the Capes Lunatics sent you.
And you.
Poor Ray. In
Poor
lockdown.
Ray.
Can't even watch Shang-Chi.
What the F?
All right. So Batman's fighting through this fear toxin. Chasing Scarecrow through this house, and he's trying to
try that on Daredevil and see what happens, sir.
Yeah, trying to keep himself from hallucinating too much, and then he finds the two former classmates of Jonathan Crane in their underwear.
I mean, Detective Comics.
Oh my!
Because Chad just said, "Isn't DC always bat-centric?" They didn't call it AC Comics, that's for sure.
Hey, didn't you see Lego Batman? Yeah, this house Batman built. That's right, Superman.
He's not wrong. He is not wrong.
I mean, back in the day, during the Christopher Reeve years, Superman was pretty big.
Yeah, yeah. Let's be honest. Superman carried the Warner Brothers through some tough times.
I mean, at least until '89.
Because Supergirl sure as hell didn't help.
Oh,
that's gonna be in the bracket for sure.
Oh, the movie, yeah. That's sad. There's so many super stuff in there. It's gonna be in the brackets. Oh, I think I have the lineup: Supergirl versus Steel.
We'll have to see how people vote, how our team votes.
I know, but I'm just thinking the initial matchups, maybe Supergirl and Steel, or Catwoman.
I think Catwoman just automatically advances. No contender for Catwoman.
I don't know. It's gonna bump into that 2015 Fantastic Four. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna
and
easily.
Thor 1 and 2.
Oh.
Hey, Marvel's not.
Hey, Thor 2, man.
How are the Ducks in there? As much as I love it,
Thor 2 that's like the worst Marvel movie.
Iron Man 3. That's like a tie.
You know what? Iron Man 3 was okay. There was too much.
But
there was too much suits flying around by itself. It wasn't for what it was.
I respect it because RDJ said, "Well, I'm clean, I'm sober, and I've basically built your empire. Pay me, or I don't do screen time." So I think you gotta respect the game.
Hey man, RDJ elevated that movie. It could have been way worse. All right.
Have you seen Ed Norton play the Hulk?
Oh.
And he never worked in that town again.
Did we put that movie up? Oh my god.
We'll see how it goes.
Charlie will be like, "That's a great movie. That has the Abomination."
I do it for free.
And twice on weekend.
Oh.
I do it twice on weekends.
See, I knew it.
You can be serious without your pants on.
Hey.
I don't know.
Chad liked Ed Norton as Bruce.
Oh, Chad. I thought we were friends.
My sweet
you
summer
stabbed me in the heart.
All right, kids. Who was better or worse, Ed Norton or Eric Bana?
Now that's a whole debate by itself.
That might be a bracket.
Yeah, that has to be a bracket.
Hulk versus Incredible Hulk. Yeah.
Nothing incredible about Ed Norton, let me tell you.
Oh.
Sorry, Chad.
Eric was worse.
I guess you're just gonna have to subscribe to the Patreon for that debate.
Oh, every time we do brackets, I'll have to put a poll up and see what the
audience versus the team.
Yes. And if you want to know the results, you've got to subscribe to the Patreon. And don't be telling people. Don't be telling people, Ray. Don't be spoiling it. All right.
is he the Tom Holland in the group? Is Ray the Tom Holland? We have to keep an eye on him. Okay, thanks script for Ray. Gotcha.
Ah, nice tool.
Bubble boo boo boo.
Rumpy Pumpy.
That was earlier with Batman and Catwoman.
Hey-oh.
Look how big it is.
Catwoman.
Is that a sock?
Catwoman sat down and said,
It's a lot of meat.
No, it's a lot of sock.
"Oh." All right, so Batman's still going through this house. Hey, look, Hugo Strange is still in that weather vane.
Put some respect on Hugo Strange's name. Like, honestly, we should do something for Hugo Strange one of these days.
Oh, there you go.
Strange September next year, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Oh, oh, we
And
can
we'll
even
have to mention his fabulous arc on Gotham. Absolutely.
BD Wong. Yes.
Yes.
We could even. Oh, we could do Strange.
But the funny thing is, he's always playing a psychiatrist. Law and Order franchise, I believe. No, was he the priest or a psychiatrist?
He was a psychiatrist on SVU. Yeah.
No. That Prison Oz. I think he was a psychiatrist in that one too.
Oh, okay.
And then he was a psychiatrist on a show called Awake. He's always playing a psychiatrist. Very fascinating. Can't wait to talk about it.
Chad says Hugo Strange or Arsenal. What? I don't know what you're smoking.
Sweet baby Roy into this. What did Roy do?
I know. I was gonna say, what are you smoking, Chad?
Well, isn't he in Oregon or one of those states where it's legal? Washington, Oregon, California, one of those states. Colorado.
The power of Chad does not care about the law. Oh, Arsenal, the Moon Knight villain. Oh yeah, remember that issue or two he was in? Yeah. Oh,
he's got the deep knowledge. Don't be hating on him like
that. Oh, that's right. I don't know if you listened to the show, Lilith, but yeah, Ray and them were covering it, and Mensch was writing. There's one issue where the villain was Nimrod Strange, and he slipped and called him Hugo Strange, I think.
Oh no! Oh no! I told you, Mitch be smoking them doobies. I told you.
What the F?
Gobble gobble.
All right. Jeez, look at us get all off course when we don't have a synopsis. Batman trips a tripwire, and there's a big saw blade comes out of the ceiling.
I don't know how that happened. What's that doing there?
I don't know, but then he runs into that mannequin, and he's still hallucinating.
Like, smells weird. Smells strange.
Oh, smells strange. Like strange? What? Hey-oh.
You get it. You got it.
Can't fit that. Can't fit that in the dishwasher. She almost spit all over her computer. Hey, Chad, she almost spit over her computer. Yeah, then he's hallucinating that blood stains like coming off the wall, and
well, he does have blood on his hands.
Oh my
Why
lord!
does it skip?
He's still hallucinating about that mannequin. Can you imagine if he hallucinated that was Catwoman, and then she walks in like, "What are you doing?" Nothing.
He's like, "Oh my,
oh my."
This is getting out of hand. Now there's 2 of them.
Baby, I literally, I swear, I was thinking about you the entire time. Yeah, because he's hallucinating. Yeah, that mannequin in bra and panties becomes Hugo Strange.
Oh, so much subtext. It's too much to unpack.
Paging Dr.
Paging Dr. Freud. Paging Dr. Freud.
Mm-hmm. Then the Scarecrow comes in.
It's like, you like that mannequin?
Scarecrow comes in, all mannequin block.
Nice.
Batman's chasing after him while Catwoman's burning the pictures Scarecrow took of her. That's right.
Hit him in the back of the head with a crowbar, and he'll forget. That's how amnesia works in DC.
She had to destroy those pictures he took as he took off that mask so he could see those big eyes.
Big Nice big round eyes. It's what the fellas want. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at those eyes. Oh my, yes. She's burning the pictures, and then she sets Scarecrow on fire.
Murder much?
He goes running out. The whole house is on fire.
God, what is it with Scarecrow stories and people burning houses down? What is that?
I don't know. We don't need no water.
Yeah, we're definitely letting that mother burn.
Oh my
Make
lord.
that joke way too much. You might have to put it on a t-shirt. Slow down and let it burn.
Oh my lord, some kind of version of a t-shirt. We don't need no water. It's the Wild West out here now, kids. So Batman falls down the same hole Hugo fell down, but he does get a bat line up and pulls Scarecrow. He's like, "You fool! You'll kill us both! You fool!" That's when because Batman didn't believe Hugo was dead the whole time. Then he sees him on the weather vane. He's like, "Oh, okay, I guess he's dead."
It's like, what a waste of butter.
Oh!
I didn't even get to beat him up.
Oh, what a waste of butter. I need some muscle and some meat.
So yeah, then the basement starts flooding. You've doomed us both. So they're fighting, and then Batman just gives him a backhand. Enough, Crane.
The old Alfred special.
I know. So just get out of my way, Scarecrow, and stay there. Catwoman's watching the house burn.
She's like,
Batman.
Can of gasoline and matches, and still wasn't found out.
Oh my god! And how long was Hugo Strange on that weather vane? Because he reaches up, still on that weather vane, grabs the Scarecrow and's like, "You left me impaled down here for days of unending agony. Forced me to tempt the rats into range with my own sweat and blood, just so I could survive on raw vermin."
Ratcatcher is gonna have a word with you, sir.
No, it can't be. Yeah, so those two are.
Talk about dedication to a role, man.
You, Batman is mine. Yeah, so everything's going up. Batman has no choice but to dive under the water. Because the gas hits, or the fire hits the gas line, so everything goes boom, blows out the side of the cliff the house is on. And they all get separated.
Nice.
Well, except Batman pulls Scarecrow out of the river.
Boo.
And they're like, "Where's Strange? Oh, washed away by now, impaled and drowned. He couldn't possibly survive."
Till next time, sucker. Says every Batman villain ever.
All right, here's the line. Catwoman says, "And you're gonna take me down, but not tonight, darling." He says, "No, not tonight.
Not ever."
Hey-oh.
Yeah, blow it. Hey-oh.
Hey-oh.
Yeah, like I said, it just kind of fizzles out towards the end. I definitely think that the penultimate issue was the best put together art, story, dialogue. Everything is in the whole package.
Yes.
I'll wait.
Ah.
I'll wait.
Which one?
Total package.
Were you asking for that one, or were you?
That's fine.
What? Oh.
That was just a really nice package.
We got so many. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. I was like, I'll wait. Whatever one you want.
And I know it's comics, but like, how tight is Batman's suit, man? I mean,
and it's all padding. We all know.
Hey, look,
That's
he's
more
in it.
padding than the Flash 90s suit right there. Although that's an Emmy award-winning costume, per JWS himself.
What are all those muscles on that leg, man? Jeez.
They really, really like leg muscles, bro.
Batman
and
does not.
Don't skip leg day in that house, okay?
So yeah, Batman basically walked away from Catwoman, dragging Scarecrow behind him.
We've had worse.
Yeah, true.
Overall, it's a solid average story, so I'll give it a C plus. Issue 1 is definitely a D as in Delta minus. Issue 2 is about a C, solid C. Issue 3, another solid C. Issue 4 is pretty much an A for me, A minus.
Boy, I thought you were about to say issue 1. I thought you were gonna say C as in see you next Tuesday.
Nice. This isn't Wade's World though.
I know. Oh my God! Can you imagine if we were still doing that on a weekly basis? Now it's gonna be the Wild West out here.
It belongs on Patreon. We can't do that every week. Wade deserves Patreon.
We need that. We need that T'Challa meme. We don't do that here.
Exactly. I think Daredevil was a very suitable replacement. Another guy who's friends with Spider-Man in a red suit. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It just writes itself.
True. All right. So, anything else? Should we give the kiddies their homework?
Give the kids their homework.
All right, kids. So for the next episode, we're going to go back in time a little bit. One issue, Detective Comics 571. I'm sure we'll have some new Bat books to talk about because it's Batman.
We did this week too, but
I know. I mean, we're running late, but it's like, did you read Fear State #1?
I did, but I thought the Harley Quinn annual was the best Bat book this week.
Oh yeah, that was good. Definitely.
They really stepped up their game with Harley Quinn, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, Stephanie Phillips.
I think they have a lot of competition with the HBO Max series, so I feel like they needed to elevate it to kind of match those vibes.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, no, Stephanie Phillips really is doing the Lord's work over on Harley Quinn.
She really is. We should send her a fruit basket.
Yeah. I mean, and the Fear State was that Fear State Alpha or whatever, but I mean, a lot of setup, As
it was, but I didn't mind the setup. I kind of like the world building that they're doing and stuff.
Yeah.
It's to be expected for a #1.
Oh, definitely.
The art was really good though. It really popped.
Oh yeah.
Super crisp.
Well, I think when you're, have the whole line dependent on one brand, you better bring all your good artists for that brand.
And that's true. Like I said, I hope that it could be King and Black levels of good.
Yeah.
That's all that's the benchmark to meet now.
I was gonna say, Russell, did you read it? I want to hear Russell's thoughts.
Yeah, Russell.
Where's the Joker nuggets? Wild like an animal.
Nice.
All right. So yes, next episode we'll be talking Detective Comics 571.
And that does have a synopsis, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's the 80s. Batman and a young Jason Todd pre-Crowbar versus the Scarecrow.
Pre-Crowbar Jason sucks.
Oh.
Hashtag fight me. I'll wait.
Well, I mean, he's either a douche or he's just like a Dick Grayson clone. I think he's more like a Dick Grayson clone in this one. So,
like I said, pre-Crowbar Jason, not my favorite. Red Hood Jason is my fave.
I think you might have said this before, Chad, or Lil said it. Yeah, Russell up an opinion.
Nice.
But yeah, kids, more good stuff is coming. I had to shuffle a few things because starting in November when the Flash comes back, yeah.
He's making us do it. He actually went through with it. Phil's a madman that needs to be stopped.
4 Comic Capers episodes, 2 We Are the Night episodes, and 1 Nightwing News that Lil doesn't have to do. We're covering every issue of Armageddon 2001. Hey man, she only has to do 1 issue. You got the bulk of it. Yeah. That's right, kids. Starting in November, every issue of Armageddon 2001. Watch Lil Hellfire's brains leak out of her ears. Even the epilogue from Action Comics. So.
Oh no, not the epilogue.
Oh no! But before we get there, got some 2 supernatural tales for you in October. Then 3 weeks in a row, we're going to be doing those Batman Earth ones. Lilith is like, what?
I've never had a problem with dick in my life. You're welcome, Philip.
Thank you for that, Chad. Oh, and the two well, think about it. Armageddon 2001. All those episodes aren't going to be back to back because Comic Capers is never back to back, and even here on We Are the Night, the 2 episodes aren't going to be back to back. I think there's like
Philip, you've made your decision.
I think
we're
there's.
gonna do it.
I'm just saying. I think there's 2 episodes in between the Armageddon 2001 episodes. So because what is it? 49 and 52 will be the Armageddon 2001
of course
episodes.
It's 52. Always 52 and never 69.
Hey-oh! Should I let you pick episode 69 when we get there?
Yes.
And does it have to be a Catwoman?
Nice.
No, he doesn't do that. All right, kids. So yes, send your thoughts. A lot of good stuff coming. Lilith has no problem with dick. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And as Lilith hitting around before, tune in to Capes and Lunatics episode 225 for our Shang-Chi review and a huge announcement. Both podcasts will never be the same after starting in October. All right, and
it's the final
countdown. Anyway, so yes, so stay up to date on all Capes and Lunatics news. Follow all of our shows, including We Are the Night, the Batman podcast on Facebook, Twitter. Find links to all the various social medias for all the many, many shows. Find links to this YouTube channel. See Lilith Hellfire roll her eyes on a month or a minute by minute basis.
Basically, at this point.
And find links to our Patreon. More and more important it will be more important than ever. So please go subscribe to the Patreon. And if you can't do that, hey, pick up some merch. Capes and Lunatics.
Yeah, take a sip, cover your nips, and cover your phone. Protect your phone.
Stay in touch. That's right.
And maybe get sticky because we do have stickers, supposedly.
Hey-o!
Maybe I'll get stickers from you. I don't know.
There you go. All right, so find links to all of that all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. It's all right in the show notes. That's right, Love Hellfire, on whether it's the YouTube video or the podcast. It's always in the show notes. And so find everything, please. Yeah, go to Linktree. Check out everything. Subscribe if you can. And
a review if you're feeling generous on Apple Podcasts even?
Oh yeah, I know. I remember Matt Coney used to give out comics. Maybe we might have to dig up some prizes for maybe
Lord
reviews.
Knows I have enough stuff I need to get rid of around here. Starting with that cheap Batarang.
Oh!
Still mad about the Batarang.
There you go. Shh. It's quality, Lilith. It's a prize. Shh.
It's a no prize at that point.
Hey-oh. So linktr.ee/capesandlunatics for everything. And if you want to talk to the Mistress of Fear herself, Lilith Hellfire, where can people find you?
Hey y'all, October is coming up, and y'all know spooky season is one of my favorite seasons. So if you want to find me on the interwebs, find me on Twitter @Lilith Hellfire, on Instagram @Lilith Hellfire69. You might get a glimpse of my cosplay for October.
Ooh.
And then also, of course, on TikTok @Lilith Hellfire69, making comments and only Star Trek related content. @Lilith Hellfire.
Be gentle with me. Deceptively hard.
Oh, I mean, it would only work. I mean, pretty much it would only be for the YouTube, but whatever Capes episode we do, like closest to Halloween, should we all dress up?
We should! And then just post a piece of the costume on social media, on our different social media.
Yes!
Tune in! Mine's probably going to be a little obvious, but it's fine.
Oh my. Okay, Spider-Gwen.
I was going to say, headband. That gives it away. I don't know. I got the Miles Morales one too, and I got a couple other spider stuff, so I don't know.
All right, so If you don't get it, kids, see, more big stuff is coming, big changes are coming, so stay tuned, follow all the social media. Phil wears his Pages Lex, what a surprise. Shut up, Chad.
That would be Charlie. No, actually, Charlie would be Kingpin.
Charlie can like turn into Century, that mustache.
Get
Hugo
that
Strange.
man a tandem bike.
Hugo Strange. As long as you could do a big handlebar mustache, Charlie has her own. Oh my god. Is he going to use Halloween as another excuse to like take his shirt off?
Oh, he's getting pasties for Christmas, man. With the tassels.
So yeah, stay tuned, kids. Again, more stuff's coming to the Patreon and here. Again, follow all the social media. But until next time, remember, join us, same bat time.
Same bat channel. We are the Night. The Batman Podcast. But we're also Vengeance. But it didn't fit on a t-shirt.